I'm introducing you to the Sklearn library's SimpleImputer, a tool we'll use to fill in missing data points. Specifically, we'll focus on how to use it to handle missing numerical values. We'll explore different ways to configure it. Let's dive in. We need to find the best way to use SimpleImputer to replace missing numbers in a dataset using the average, mean, of each column. This problem tests our understanding of its parameters. This option sets the imputation strategy to mean, meaning it will use the average. The ~fill_value parameter is normally used when the strategy is constant to specify a fixed replacement value. Here, it's unnecessary for using the mean. It doesn't cause an error, but it's extra. This option is straightforward. I'm setting the strategy to mean, which is exactly what the problem asks for. I'm not including any unnecessary parameters, making it a clean and efficient solution. This is a correct choice. Nice. I'm using the mean strategy here as well. The copy equals false parameter means I'm instructing the SimpleImputer to modify the original dataset directly instead of creating a copy. While this can save memory, it's important to be aware that it alters the original data. For this problem, it still correctly imputes the missing values using the mean. Therefore, this is also a correct option. This option uses the median strategy, which means it will replace missing values with the median, middle, value of each column. The problem wants the average, mean, so this is incorrect. The correct solutions are B and C because they both correctly use the mean imputation strategy. I've summarized the correct options. B and C are the right choices because they both accomplish the task of mean imputation, while addressing different scenarios of working with the original data. I'm focusing on the core function here, setting the strategy to mean. This tells SimpleImputer to replace missing values with the average of each column. This is the key to solving the problem. Here, I'm showing you an optional parameter. Setting copy to false means I'm instructing SimpleImputer to modify the original dataset directly, instead of creating a copy first. This saves memory, but it also means you're changing your original data. I want to address this parameter, which is completely unnecessary when using the mean strategy. The ~fill_value parameter only matters when using the constant strategy. Because that's when you specify a single value to fill every missing entry with. It's not needed for mean calculations. This line in the problem description is telling you that you need to understand how SimpleImputer works from its documentation. You do not need any advanced mathematical skills. It is all about knowing how to use the parameters correctly. I'm focusing on the Sklearn library's SimpleImputer class. It's a tool I use to fill in missing data in my datasets. The class offers different strategies for imputation, like calculating the mean or median for a column, or using the most frequent value. I'm presented with several ways to configure SimpleImputer. I need to choose the ones that correctly use the mean strategy to handle missing numerical data. This option sets the imputation strategy to mean, but also includes. While not wrong, FILLVALUE is typically used when I want to replace missing values with a specific constant. It's not needed when using the mean strategy and adds unnecessary complexity. Here's a simple and effective option. I'm setting the imputation strategy to mean without extra arguments. This is the straightforward way to fill missing values using the column's average. I like this one. This option uses the mean strategy, but the crucial difference is. This means that instead of creating a copy of my data and imputing on that copy, it will change the original data directly. It can save memory, but I'll have to keep in mind that my original data is modified. This option uses median instead of mean. This would give me the middle value of a sorted column instead of the average, which doesn't answer the question's prompt. After looking at the configurations, I need to pick the ones that correctly fill in missing numerical data using the average of each column. I'm introducing the core concept. We'll use Sklearn's SimpleImputer to fix missing numbers in our data. Think of it as a tool that intelligently fills in the blanks. I'm asking you to identify the right ways to use SimpleImputer to fill missing values with the average of each column's existing values. We'll consider different options and determine which work correctly. This is correct. I selected the right strategy. Mean ensures that missing values are replaced by the average value for that column. It's straightforward and efficient. Another correct choice. I'm using the same mean strategy. But copy equals false tells the tool to modify the original data directly. This saves memory, but remember that it changes your original data. I'm using the mean strategy, which is good. However, I added fill_value equals 0 feet, which is unnecessary for the mean strategy. It doesn't cause any errors, but it's redundant. I chose the wrong strategy here. Median means that the tool will use the middle value of each column instead of the average, which is not what the question asked. The correct answers are B and C. I'm looking at a problem where I need to fill in missing numbers in a dataset. I'll use the average of each column to do that. That's called imputation. Pretty straightforward. This option uses the SimpleImputer tool to replace missing data. It tells the tool to use the average, mean, of each column. However, I don't actually need to set a fill_value because I'm using the mean. It's like saying, I'll use the average, but just in case, use 0. It's a bit redundant. This is a clean and concise way to do it. I'm telling the SimpleImputer to use the average, mean, of each column to fill in the missing spots. That's exactly what I need. Simple and effective. This option also uses the average, mean, but adds a copy equals false part. This means I'm telling the tool to change the original data directly instead of creating a copy first. While this is slightly less memory efficient, it still gets the job done correctly. It's perfectly acceptable here. Here I'm using the median instead of mean. The median is the middle value. This isn't what the question asks for. I need the average, not the middle value. So this is incorrect. The best options to use are B and C. I see that you're using the SimpleImputer with the mean strategy, which is great. However, fill_value is only needed when using the constant strategy. It's unnecessary here and won't affect your mean imputation. It's like adding extra sugar to already perfectly sweet tea. It's not harmful, but it's also not necessary. This is perfect. You're using the mean strategy correctly and concisely. The SimpleImputer will accurately calculate the mean of each column and replace missing values accordingly. Simple, effective, and elegant. This is also a correct approach. You are using the correct strategy, and the copy equals false parameter tells the SimpleImputer to modify your original array directly instead of creating a copy. This can save memory, but remember that your original array will be changed. If that's not what you want, use copy equals true, or omit the parameter which defaults to true. Oops, here you've chosen the wrong strategy. You specified median, not mean. This will calculate and fill missing values with column medians, not the mean. So this answer is not correct for the problem stated. This question asks you to identify the correct scikit-learn SimpleImputer configurations for imputing missing numerical data using the mean. You need to understand how the strategy fill_value and copy parameters work. I use this option because it directly specifies that I want to use the mean for imputation. It's straightforward and avoids unnecessary parameters. This is a perfect solution. I like this option too. The copy equals false parameter means that the imputation happens directly in the original array, without making a copy. This saves memory, but I must remember that it modifies the original data. For this problem, it still correctly performs the mean imputation. Here, fill_value is redundant, because fill_value only applies to the constant strategy. The SimpleImputer will still correctly use the mean, but the fill_value parameter is ignored. This is incorrect. I selected the wrong strategy. I should have chosen mean, not median. The SimpleImputer will calculate and use the median for imputation instead of the mean, providing the wrong answer to the question.